The diminished seventh chords can also help creating a nice chord progression, a nice groovy R&B chord progression when you just start by using a couple of chords in a key. So for instance, if we are in the key of E flat minor and E flat minor 7 is the 1 minor, and you only want to use another chord like the 4 minor, A flat minor 7, which is the 4 minor 7, and you play things like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so one bar each on the A flat minor 7 and E flat minor 7, you can use the diminished 7 chords to really create the rest of the chord progression. Okay, so effectively you only do a 4 minor, 1 minor in E flat, but you can use as passing chords lots of diminished 7 chords. Let's start thinking about how we can go to a 1 minor, in particular to this E flat minor 7. Well, we can think of the secondary dominant, which would be B flat dominant 7, or in general the 5-7 of E flat minor. Okay, now when we look at this chord, we already know that when we point out the major third of this chord, which would be D, okay, B flat the root and D being the major third of B flat 7, what we can do is use the diminished 7 chord built on that major third, so D diminished 7th, and think of it as the upper part, like we explained already, of this B flat 7 when you extend it to the flat 9, so when you make it altered to go to E flat minor. Okay, so think of it as you want to play a B flat 7 flat 9 rootless, okay, and what you get is a D diminished 7th. If you then had, you know, your B flat, that would sound like a B flat 7 flat 9, but you only play the diminished 7th chord here. And as always, what you can do is also moving this diminished 7 chord 3 semitones up or down. In this case, we could move it up by 3 semitones. Okay, so let's listen to it again. We had the A flat minor 7, then imagine we play this to go here, but the way we do it is okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we only used 2 beats of the A minor 7 bar to play the D diminished 7th, which then slided into an F diminished 7th. Okay, but then once we reach the E flat diminished 7th, we can actually do the other way around. We can create the diminished 7 chords as secondary diminished 7 chords to go back to the first chord of the chord progression, which was A flat minor 7. We already said that A flat minor 7 is not the one of this key, but it's the first chord and it's the 4 minor. So we need to think of the secondary dominant of the 4 minor, and that would be E flat 7. E flat 7 is the 5-7 of A flat. Okay, A flat minor. For the sake of keeping the same visualization on the fretboard, we can actually think of that A flat note being here on fret 11 of the A string, so that you can easily see that on top of that fret 11 of the E string, you have the 5 of that chord. Okay, this always works like this on guitar, on the fretboard of the guitar, so you can think that E flat 7 will be, you know, this chord here would be the 5-7 of A flat minor in this case. And as always, like we did before, we can point at, you know, the major third of this chord, of this E flat 7, and that would be the note G. And here we can play the diminished 7 chord. So we can use this G diminished 7th chord as the upper part of E flat 7, E flat 7 flat 9. E flat 7 flat 9 will be the 5-7 flat 9, so the 5-7 altered, the secondary dominant of A flat minor. But we replace that, or better, we play it rootless, and what we get is G diminished 7th. Okay, so it would be already sounds good and quite R&B in the sound, very jazzy vibe. Okay, what we can do next is thinking that, well, the G diminished 7th, like any other diminished 7 chord, again, can be moved by 3 semitones and you are still playing the same chord. So this time, rather than moving it up, I want to move it down, and what I get going 3 semitones back is an E diminished 7th. So when I play my chord progression and I play the E flat minor 7 as the 1, what I can play next is a run of E diminished 7th, G diminished 7th, back to A flat minor. So again, we started by using only two chords, the 4 minor and the 1 minor, A flat minor 7 and E flat minor 7, and we now play two diminished 7 chords to go from A flat minor 7 to E flat minor 7, and another two diminished 7 chords to go backwards. So something like and then back. So in terms of beats, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, etc. Okay, so you use those two secondary diminished 7 chords on the beats 3 and 4 of each bar. Okay, right, now that we've got all of the chords of our chord progression, the next step is adding a few embellishments and get into that laid-back R&B feel. So what can we do next? Well, we can do something like this. So all I'm doing, guys, is playing a strum on the first chord and then the usual staccato. We are looking for that staccato feel very often, okay? Or at least we are looking for the difference between a long sound that you want to keep, you know, as long as you can, and another one that instead you want to stop as soon as you can, okay? That's the staccato feel. So you play this kind of thing, 1, 2. Okay, just hitting a few strings up and stopping the sound as quick as you can. And then for the diminished 7 chords, I really like to play a 4-note arpeggio, which slides into the next diminished 7 chord, okay? And it sounds really, really R&B and neo soul, okay? Then on the E flat minor 7, which is the 1 minor, I like to play at least one embellishment on the chord, and that is the major 2nd or major 9th to the minor 3rd, like before hitting the same staccato feel with the upstroke. And then from the next diminished 7 chord, guess what? I just do the same thing as before, so I play a 4-note arpeggio, which I then slide here. Like this, okay? So all together, chord, staccato, arpeggio, slide, embellishment, staccato, arpeggio, slide, okay? Once more. Right guys, so we literally started from 2 chords and we got a nice groovy chord progression made by, you know, also 4 diminished 7 chords, arpeggios, staccatos, embellishments, and that's how you get a proper R&B and neo soul vibe.